Okay, so today I am going to be presenting on Martin Senn. He is a visual and contemporary artist, and we've actually already looked at him in our wire sculpture unit, so everyone should be familiar with him already, which is super cool. We can see here in the telephone sculpture, everyone probably recognizes it. That's one of his more common and well-known sculptures. So yeah, we already know some information just from the background videos of the wire sculpture, but I'll go more into depth about him and his art. So, first off, let's go in just into some background information on him. He's a German artist and he was born in 1954. He was also very influenced by the 80s. There isn't a ton of information on his childhood. The 80s really influenced him, and about 26 years after he was born, that's when the 80s were. So he was in his 20s and he was influenced by global capitalism, political upheaval, mass media, different discrepancies, and of course the fashion and the music of the 80s. So super cool. I have a picture here of the German flag, and then also just a sign showing the 80s because they were such a big influence on him and his art as well. Next, we can go into see some of his work. So again, you might be familiar with some of his work already just because of the wire sculpture unit. The first picture I have here is a typewriter, and as you can see, he even signed his name Martin Senn, right here, Senn, which is super cool. In his wire sculpture, you can see the different details in his work, the different keys and everything, and different thickness and different parts. Super cool. He also has this moped item object right here that he has created, which I also thought was cool. My personal favorite, which is the bra, because I think it's just a unique item and the detail of the flowers on it, super cool. And then also last I have this other picture which is of a train. And I also really like this one and like how the different texture of the smoke is different from the rest of the body of the train. And like I mentioned again, the telephone is one of the more well-known ones that was on the intro page. And his wire really creates this feeling of an ink drawing, even though it's created out of wire. Super cool again. Next, we have different themes and some of the industry implications that come with his art. So, with some of his themes, he has retro wireframe sculptures. So, that's what we saw just in the last slide. Just they're all wireframe sculptures. It's also expressive sketch-like art because it creates a sketch-like piece that you wouldn't think would be wire, which is super cool with the way he handles the wire. And then the last theme is that he uses organic metal sculptures. So as we saw from the last slide, it was all metal sculptures. And then some industry implications. He uses design, art, and then retro collectibles. And this goes back to his influence in the 80s. All of his retro items and objects that he chose comes back to how he was influenced from the 80s. So again, super cool. And sorry, I am a little sick, so you can kind of hear that. Um, Next, we'll go just into some spotlights of him as an artist and his position as an artist in the world. So first off, we have this picture of a map, and it shows his shows by region. This dot is Europe, and all his shows has been in Europe, and specifically in Switzerland and Germany. So you can see that right here. Then we have exhibitions by type. He has 11 exhibitions, and those are all group exhibitions. He hasn't done any solo exhibitions or art fairs, it looks like. And then exhibitions by institution type. Looks like he's done one gallery, and then the rest have been other different types of exhibitions and institutes, which is super cool. Um, and like I mentioned, yes, most were in Switzerland and Germany, but more were in Switzerland than Germany. So most were in Switzerland. His art was also ranked most notable in 2017, and the most notable change of that rank was in 2011. So, there's also some similar artists. So, there are a ton of artists out there that use wire, but there was a certain website that was comparing two specifically, which was Martin Senn and then Rachel Ducker. And they both use wire to create their pieces, but Ducker focuses more on human form and nature. She'll occasionally will do objects as well, and she doesn't like to title her pieces and to leave them open to interpretation, so that's why she doesn't title them. And Sen creates more of a volumetric form, whereas you can see Ducker uses the wire to create more of a solid form, but it's cool to see their different handlings of the wire. And then last, I just have my works cited page, and I just use websites like ArtFacts, Artland, My Modern Met, Trend Hunter, and then uh, the website comparing the different artists. And that is it.